check the Twit doc, but I realized I haven't watched this week's episode yet. So the episode name won't be in there.
Well, it hasn't been out yet.
It just aired.
That's how it usually goes. I usually like way after we do components, which by the way, you should probably keep all the stuff we've been talking about, but you haven't.
And just say hello and welcome to Modular Components, everybody. It's a fucking podcast where we talk about shit and stuff. I'm the Backhuminator, and I'm here with Boingo Ryder.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm tired.
Are you sure? Are you sure about that?
A fucking night.
You sure did, buddy. I'll bet we'll talk about that more later. But in the meantime, we have a special guest returning for the first time in a few months. I think the last time you were on was like September, November-ish. But Tim Shields, Fowler, Zaya Enterprise man is here, everybody.
Thank you for having me. Nice to be back.
Yeah, it's nice to have you back. You're a cool friendo, as I like to call people, and have totally done before.
Well, I appreciate that. That's what I aim for.
Yeah.
By the way, the arcs are called Encounter, Conspiracy, and Divergence so far.
Yeah, we're in Divergence right now. We're working on getting the final Divergence novel adapted into live action. Very strange that they chose to do it in a Kamen Rider show, though.
Yeah, it's interesting. I have to wonder if there's some sort of video game tie-in coming.
It'll probably be shit, though, because there hasn't been a good Kamen Rider game in, like, decades.
Gates is themed after video games.
Was Freaking Fracka, was the one that starred 01 O's and Double not good?
I heard it was all right.
That's
but that's how you can describe most of the games that have come out, like, I want to say since Decade. It's like been nothing but serviceable, like, shit that's slapped together and feels like it should be on a PS2 instead of a current system.
For real, it's like LJN is making all the fucking Kamen Rider games these days.
You know what would be amazing if they got the people who do the Naruto fucking arena fighters go like, hey, here you go, do Kamen Rider.
Yeah.
Just give us something remotely substantial, or like, I don't know, Wake Up? How about Wake Up in your fighting games?
I think here's the thing, I'm saying, like, because the Naruto guys are able to have huge, giant casts.
And those big dynamic cinematic, like, battles where they go into those, like, cinematic sequences and the button press combos and stuff, I think that would be totally fine.
Mm-hmm.
And you could add, like, simplify the understanding of, like, the individual rider mechanics, and you go like, all right, cool, you just get one button and it does a thing for each rider.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And I would also just like them to take the time to put the care into each rider that really needs to be there, because by the nature of how quick they make these things now, it's like the current guy and the main guy from the last season will have all their forms, all their little side grades and weapons and bullshit. And then, like, anybody from, like, more than 2 seasons back, it's like you get the main form and the final form, and that's it.
My big thing is, like, I would love either just a Yakuza Ichigo game. Like, I think that lends itself.
Oh, hell yeah.
But also, like, where's the Kamen Rider sports games? Give me a Kamen Rider kart. Give me a Kamen Rider, like, tennis. You have a primary and secondary that's set up.
Oats and Kuga at the Olympic Games.
Exactly.
No. Do it like one of the Kinyukun games.
Yeah.
Like the River City guys.
Right. Or like backyard baseball or something, you know, where it's like it's allowed to be fun, it's allowed to be good, and also it's just a like solid little sports simulator or something, you know?
Now I kind of wish Buster had stayed around for the episode so I could scare them with the phrase Force Tennis Ultra Smash.
See, I would be into that though. I fucks with tennis.
Yeah, but there's a Mario Tennis game with that subtitle that's notorious bad.
Yeah, no. Oh, yeah. I don't fuck with tennis that hard.
I don't fuck with tennis that hard. Title of Tim Shields' autobiography. But since you've been around, what have you been up to, buddy? I know you've been moving and shaking in a lot of new and interesting ways over on your channel.
Mostly, I've just been doing the stop motion stuff lately. I got canceled a little bit for saying Nazis are bad on Twitter. Go figure. And so I just sort of have been taking a break from all the critical stuff. I'm going to be coming back to that pretty soon. I'm waiting on a very big box to come in.
I like how
'cause
you
I think
said
that'll
you got canceled for saying Nazis are bad.
Yeah,
I don't
that
think
will
I
justify
don't think
saying
that's
that.
typically how that works.
Yeah, yeah, you would think, right? Yeah, no, it was very silly. But media literacy in 2023, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, uh, we're in the comics fandom, so you don't have to tell
Yeah,
us about
exactly. You get it.
that.
Here's the
But
thing.
yeah, so
Sometimes
that
it's
lasted
warranted.
like 3 days,
Sometimes
and
it's
then
warranted though when you fucking read dark web.
oh no, for sure.
Or you could just not read it and only read like discussing films clickbait titles about it. That's a good way to take in media, or so I've been told.
That's how I do it. Yeah, that's how I get my video idea. Is I
Yeah,
just go on YouTube, I type in Common Writer, and I just look at what everybody else is doing, and I just say, oh, I'll do that.
yeah. Who actually needs to sit down and watch 22 minutes of subtitled television when you
You
could
think I
just
got
look at a
time?
suit? Well, you could
These
just
shows are
look
like
at a suit and be like, "Oh, obviously this means this is happening in the show, so let's make a 20-minute video about this."
yeah. No, I love synopsis reviews. Like, just tell me the things that happened in the episode, but don't tell me how they made you feel.
Oh, and like you know what else is my favorite content? Fucking tier lists, man.
Oh,
I
yes.
I want to know. I want to know exactly what Vice stamp is better than that other fucking Vice stamp.
That's my favorite.
But yeah, that the most common thing they do on a screen is tier list.
Wow.
I need them. You fucking rate stamps.
Is it just me or does Boingo actually sound like a robot right
Internet.
now? Oh, you're back.
Goof, goof.
Uh-oh. Do I have to dispatch aims on you?
It's just a knock at Boingo's store.
We
But
have
so,
Yaiba do the knocking. People are more receptive.
yeah. I think her form of knocking is a lot better to Fua just blunt forcing his way through the door and it exploding into a million splinters. Fua would be that guy who would like just body check everybody on his way out of a building.
Who opens every door with his shoulder.
And he always slaps the door frame too. He's one of those.
Too much energy all the time.
Mm. Oh man, Boingo, you need to watch 01. It's great.
Oh, sure.
It's the 01 channel. You don't really need to watch 01, but like it can be cool sometimes.
I almost and I feel comfortable saying this now because I'm probably not ever going to do it since I didn't do it initially. I almost, as a joke, just sent Boingo the 01 Blu-ray for Christmas.
Is it on my throne?
Is it? I don't
I could have
know.
swore it was on my throne.
If it
Merry
is, then I
Christmas.
definitely
The
should
20-hour
have.
tour.
I mean, if you're a fucking X8 guy who's doing a video about Geats, it's pretty silly that you ain't seen 01.
That is weird. You gotta fill in that gap, dog.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
gotta-
that's for legacy content. That's for that's for the 6-hour video essay later on, where I make
Wait,
like
hold
the
on,
first
that's my
40.
territory.
coming 2025 to the Boingo Writer YouTube channel, Common Writer 01, the missing link.
Legitimately, I've had an idea to do something like that, but also, yeah, it's on my it's on my throne.
God damn it, how much is it?
I also don't have a Blu-ray player, so it means nothing.
Son of a bitch. Almost.
Why are you that much? 8-bit do controller. Why are you $112?
Ew.
It's a fight stick.
Oh, well, there you go.
I don't care. You know me, I don't understand why things other than toys are expensive ever. I look at a pair of pants and I'm like, why is that more than $20?
Because it lasts more than 20 minutes.
Probably. But also, like, why do I need it to last 20 minutes? I'm just going to the store.
Right.
It's fucking you're just like one of those people. Like, I just buy a brand new pair of underwear every time I walk out.
No! Oh my god, my financials would be so much worse than they already are if I did that. I was listening to
Doing that, except it's been Transformers.
I mean, listen, I am budgeting better so far this year.
Are you?
I've only bought 2. And I haven't spent. It was less than $100.
Fact, I wanted you to confirm so I could say I'm proud of you.
Oh, thank you, buddy. I really appreciate that.
I just wanted to make sure it wasn't like, yeah, instead of buying 10, I bought 9. Like, genuinely, you're budgeting. I'm proud of you.
Uh-huh. Though I was very, very tempted by something today, and I almost gave in, but I was strong.
What was it?
I don't even. Probably it was a pair of underwear with like little Optimus Primes on it. I bet.
There you go. Yeah.
And it just says,
your dream comes out the chest like the Matrix of leadership.
oh my God, that good. That's good.
You like go up to the urinal and you're like, now light our darkest hour.
He's got the hands on the edges of it, so it looks like he's opening it.
This is the best idea ever. Why has
No. So here's a different one. It's Optimus Prime opening the Matrix of Leadership, but it's your butthole. You're now wearing goatsy.
Oh my God! I want both of those. Fucking Hasbro, Super 7, Takara, somebody get on that. But hey, I'm glad we did get to Transformers, because that was one of the main reasons I wanted to talk to you again, Tim, is you've gotten way the fuck into Transformers in the last few months.
Yeah, a little bit. I definitely bought 20 last month.
Oh, welcome to the club.
Are you pacing yourself at least?
Oh no, not at all. I actually I just ordered Armada Starscream on Impulse last night.
Ooh, yeah, he's a good one.
Yeah, it looks sick. Like, it looks so much better than the old one. Like, it has a waist. And
he has a few little problems, but overall I like him.
Yeah, I mean that's the big thing is I'm coming into it from the like 2000s era of Transformers. So for me, every single thing has been a blessing here.
Yeah, well, that's another thing though, is you got to remember I started in pretty much the same place you did. It's just I never left.
Exactly.
I have a sign with like pictures of RC and Windblade on it that says "Don't forget you're here forever."
Whereas I'm like, reds look cool.
Yeah, and I was like, reds look cool for people who are not me.
Yeah, like the thing is, like the two of them that I've gotten, which I understand are the two good ones, Shockwave and Megatron, are absolutely incredible for what I'm going to need them for.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would want to buy any more of them from the reviews that I've seen.
Yeah, because I think like
great.
I think I've heard like the Bumblebee is too big, and Optimus very obviously has the problem of you can just straight up see the Matrix in there, and you shouldn't be able to.
And he's got like a bunch of miscolored pins and stuff, like really sloppy stuff. Even this Megatron has a bunch of gray pins where it should have like that lighter gray pin.
Yeah, and like it's cool that they did prime characters, but they just they don't have the right colors. I feel they don't look like they're those same characters. All those grays should be like blacks or silvers.
Yeah, right. Yeah, his head especially looks like way too light. But I think in terms of like articulation and in terms of like more importantly for me using stop motion, these are really helpful for especially characters like Shockwave and Megatron, where it's like, when would I ever be transforming them in like continuity?
Yeah, because I think that's a key difference between you and me as Transformers collectors now, is you do not care about whether a figure can transform or not. You just want it to look like the thing you need. And I'm very much like, no, I need it to be able to transform. I need that knowledge there. I need that play factor there.
Well, that depends. Like Megatron and Shockwave both turn into guns.
Uh-huh.
So like my having them turn into, 4.5-inch guns on the table isn't really going to be handy, but their REDs come with like a little Megatron gun.
Mm-hmm.
So I can manufacture the idea of him on screen transforming into that and then popping into like Starscream's hand or something. But like outside of, these couple of like G1 designs that even if I got the toy, it wouldn't be very helpful if it transformed. I'm all about the transformations as well. Cause like there are so few people that do like full on screen transformations I'm noticing. And it's really not that hard.
Yeah.
So like that's something I've been trying to lean into. And like, you do want that aspect of the franchise to be sort of represented, the work that I don't think I'm going to get too heavily invested in the RED line, especially considering how crap the quality has been.
And I think it's like basically dead at this point. I haven't heard any new announcements about it since like early 2022.
Exactly. Like my store is carrying, lines from like 9 months ago. I don't think they're getting new shipments in right now.
Yeah, they're just waiting for an excuse to put those things on clearance.
Oh, right, exactly. So, like, for the most part, I've been investing in the non-transforming things, but again, Megatron and Shockwave, it's like, when would I ever use those on screen? And if I did, they would be completely out of scale with everything. So I wanted to jump on these while they were still cheap at all, and luckily I found Shockwave in the store, so I had $90 for it.
Though, while I do respect their gun roots, I kind of do love that Megatron and Shockwave have just like had a bunch of different alt modes throughout the years and have only recently settled on being tanks.
Oh, 1,000%. Like I really like the Siege Shockwave design, mostly as a hoverboard for Guy. I think that'd be really neat. Like I have the core class one, and I'm like, yeah, that's about the right size.
Yeah, I did have that figure for a minute, and it was very good.
Yeah,
But
super
had to prune it out from the collection in order to afford my new computer. So it's one I'm going to loop back around and get again at some point, unless they do a better one in Generations or Legacy or whatever we're calling it this week.
I'm very happy that we're getting all these Armada remakes and stuff.
Oh, did you see that new leak list yesterday?
Yes, I did. We're getting a new Chromia.
We're getting Cyberverse Chromia, which is insane to me because that animation style is very close to G1, but also it's got very particular like colors and bits of smoothness to it that I wouldn't think would fit in with G1 looking characters. So I want to see how it turns out.
I have the Clobber from that line. I think that's real.
Yeah.
Figure. I love everything about it. It's so good.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, have you any interest in a Lugnut then?
I have so much interest in Lugnut. That is my favorite aspect of Transformers Animated, I think.
Yeah. There's an animated character that needs a new figure bad because he had the original one, and I had the original one as a kid, and it was pretty good. But then there was the Reveal the Shield one, which everybody loves, but is stupid expensive on the aftermarket now. So I've never laid hands on it. And that's it. That's it for Lugnut. Nothing else. Not even like a weird bastardized movie version. So if we're doing animated in Legacy, Evolution, and whatever next year is, can we get a Lugnut, please?
We're getting what was it? Animated Bumblebee they're doing?
Yeah, Bumblebee. I think that was the only animated name on that list.
Well, we're getting that one Prowl.
Yeah, well, they've already they properly revealed Prowl, so
yeah.
And I know people have been like real up in arms about like, he's bulked out and he looks like he's been G1ified, but I think he looks close enough to the animated guy. I like the way he.
I think if you're looking for like a dedicated animated version of it, there's probably like an animated version of it. Like
there's the original figure from Wave 1.
Exactly. But like I really am enjoying the different takes that they're sort of spinning on these characters with that sort of G1ification legacy stuff. Like, I love that Bulkhead redesign. I think it's so cute.
See, I was one of the people who was initially up in arms about that because I'm like, I don't like squares for Bulkhead. I want him to be round.
I feel you, yeah.
And then I bought the toy, and the robot mode was fine, but the transformation was a pain in the ass, and I could not get the vehicle mode to look the way it was supposed to.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
It might have just been my stupid ass, but
just because you can load so much onto all those pegs.
I will say this though, I think they did a really good job of kind of pulling the design of Hotshot out of that very doofy original figure for his legacy figure.
Yeah,
because I've heard this about some of the Armada characters before, but I didn't really realize until I got the new Hotshot in hand that, like, yeah, Armada's design philosophy really was just like He-Man looking action figure guys with wearing car parts.
No, for sure, it absolutely is.
But I do dig it.
I hope we get a Red Alert. Like that's such a thing.
See, I'm holding out for Cybertron Red Alert. I had that figure as a kid, and it was one of my favorites. So
Right on.
that's a vintage I need to rebuy for myself, but also
Yeah.
like I would love an update.
Yeah, exactly. Like
So,
I think just update everything that I liked in my childhood, and I think we'll be
yeah,
all set. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. The G1 boomers have had their time. The Beast Wars Gen Xers are like getting their bit right now, but like let's get to the good bit.
Hey,
Yeah, like guys,
you're
just cater to me.
forgetting
That'll solve all of your
RID 2000. Come on,
Oh,
guys.
we lumped that in with Unicron Trilogy. That's fine. That can come along.
Yeah, our idea is I for some reason just continuously Unicron Trilogy, even knowing that it's called the Unicron Trilogy.
Mm-hmm. And RID literally only happened because they needed to fill time to develop the Unicron Trilogy.
Exactly.
That's also hilarious to me. Is like I recently learned because Aaron Archer, who was the brand manager for Transformers from RID up until Dark of the Moon, he's been doing a podcast about like all the toy lines he's worked on, and I recently found out through listening to that like apparently all of the first year of Armada was completely built from the ground up by him and two Takara designers over the course of like a month.
Yeah, I was watching a video about it the other day, and like apparently a bunch of the animation was unfinished in the first chunk of it, and like there are just like straight up plot holes that like don't exist in the Japanese version because yeah, they actually like, took the time to finish it.
Yeah, because they wanted
But
the American show to air at the same time the toys were hitting, so they just fucking sent off the character models and like general concepts to this animation studio and said, "Have it to us by this point." And because Japanese animation is Japanese animation, it came out very spot trying to hit a deadline.
so like I've this past week been watching Car Robots and whatever the Armada one is called, Micron something.
Micron Legend, I believe.
Yeah, and it's like it's so weird because I already love both of these things,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like prepared for them not to have aged as well, but like now I'm watching this weird like George Lucas remastered version where I'm like, "Oh, okay, but there's all this like these improvements that I don't remember," you know?
Interesting.
Yeah, it's been a
There's a
very
part of me
strange.
that does want to check that out, but like it's a subtitled thing, so I'd have to dedicate time to just watching it like I do Tokusatsu, and Tokusatsu already takes up a good chunk of my time.
That's so hard.
Like, man, I remember getting up at 5 a.m. to watch new episodes of Transformers Cybertron on Cartoon Network every day, and it wasn't until years later that people told me like, "Oh yeah, you should look up fan subs of Galaxy Force. It's way better." What? What is this? How do you do this? Because this was before I was even a Tokusatsu fan.
How do you pirate footage?
Oh, you laugh, but I didn't know how to torrent stuff until oh god, I think was it ToQger was airing? Like I watched I originally watched Wizard through JE Fusion's YouTube unlisted uploads that they would embed on their sites.
No, Vax watching this shit in like 10-minute chunks.
Yeah, part 1, part 2, part 3, man.
Yeah. Openings and endings cut out for copyright. Like
I have since gone back and watched it in full. I think the last time I watched Wizard proper was probably when I did my video on it. It is about due for a rewatch.
yeah, I mean, when isn't it really?
Yeah. It's funny. I make the point in the beginning of that video that like Wizard is my comfort food show, and I've like barely watched any of it since.
Yeah, you must be
How
very
dare you.
discontent right now.
You put your entire heart and soul into a video about a thing, and then you're like, I think that's enough of that thing for a while.
Yeah,
I even
right?
put my voice into it, sir.
How about you, Boingo? You're working on a One Piece video right now. Are you about done with One Piece for a while?
Oh no, I'm reading week to week. Do you want me to tell the story now?
Sure.
Is that your way of asking me to tell the story?
I mean, you have literally been sitting in the corner twiddling your thumbs for probably 20 minutes, so.
Hi, people listening to this.
Hey, what's up?
At the point of recording, this is a Saturday night. So, Friday before that, last night, at about like 11, I was like, I got a couple hours before I need to go to sleep. So let me just start working on my One Piece video. I've been working on One Piece for a while. It's getting really, really close to done. It's like 80% done. But I started, and I was like, all right, cool. Let me work on the final effects and stuff that I'll need to make this all look nice and pretty, right? So I start going through it, and it regularly keeps crashing. And I'm like, okay, shit's a little wonk. Let me update my video editor, see if that helps. Update it, do the whole thing, get back to editing, keeps crashing. Fuck. Well, let's see if my drivers are out of date. Okay, update my drivers, do all that, because I had a feeling because of the way it was crashing.
Yeah, you were using the Deca driver still, yeah. It's very outdated.
So needs
keep
that Desire driver, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep editing. It keeps crashing. I'm like, all right, cool. Something's fucked. Restart computer, turn it back on. Keeps crashing. All right, how am I going to solve this? Okay, what if what if somehow my install of my video editor just got borked? Let me uninstall it and reinstall it. I did it. It crashed. This time, however, when it crashed, both my screens, I have two screens, went black. They came back on, except my second monitor did not come back on. It would not connect. I unplugged the HDMI, plugged it back in, wouldn't connect. I'm like, shit. Go into settings, see what I can find out. Nothing there. Go through all these different things, figuring out what the problem is. All right, what's the problem?
Sadako.
Fucking ugh.
The girl from the ring just starts crawling out the monitor.
Does not sound like a good time.
Right. So, trying to remember the exact order of this. All right. So, I figure out all of the things, get the second monitor back up and running. I got like, all right, cool. Let me open up my video editor, and it won't open. It says failed to initialize OpenGL. Fuck. I look up what's OpenGL. Oh, it's a video rendering format that a lot of people use, and you can do all this kind of stuff. I was like, all right, cool. I go into the NVIDIA settings, tell it to use OpenGL, make sure it forces that, all that kind of stuff. Try it open video editor. Won't do it. I'm going like, fuck. All right. Not reaching a dead end, just trying to figure out what's going wrong. And then I look at my device management. I look at, because technically my system has two graphics chips. It has an NVIDIA card and it has internal CPU AMD graphics. Except now it didn't have internal AMD graphics because the graphics were borked. It says, hey, by the way, you no access to graphics. Fuck you. So I'm like, what the fuck? All right. I looked up the error code and it says like, yeah, no, the drivers aren't there. I'm like, I'm just sitting here going, I have never once been asked to update the drivers for that. Let me go and find the AMD app where I can get the driver I need. I can look at my system, look it up. I search for the app. I try to open the app. Pop-up shows up. Sorry, we can't open the app. We can't access the graphics. All right, go to AMD's website. Look up my specific CPU, the processor, everything I need. Download the graphics package. Download it. Do all the thing. Update the drivers. All of that. Get everything back up and running. I open up my video editor, it opens up, it's fine, I edit for a little bit, and I look out my window and it's 8 a.m. in the morning.
That, I believe, is what the kids refer to as a big oof.
Jump the computer like the lawnmower man for a second. Start fighting cyber monkeys.
He went full VR troopers.
Yeah.
It was an experience and a half.
Yeah, that sounds really, 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 really frustrating.
But hey, I'm now like a third way through the edit because I was like, it was already 8 a.m. I was like, I'm not gonna get any sleep. I just edited.
Be into it, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's good. It's good you got shit done regardless.
And I mean, like, to tie it all together, and to quote Captain Fanzone from Transformers Animated, this is why I hate machines.
I hate machines for other reasons.
Yeah, I know you do.
They took your job?
They took everybody's jobs these days. I saw a reporter get fooled by AI art earlier tonight. Yeah,
AI is going to ruin everything. And we've kind of been headed that way for a long time. So I've kind of made my peace with it already.
Never going to acknowledge my gears, I'm afraid.
Mm-hmm.
Keep pulling my gun on my pee. It's fucked up.
I heard about that big scare a bunch of Twitch streamers had of deepfake porn of them existing recently.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay, that is fucked up, but also like as soon as deepfakes became a thing, I was just like, okay, so if I ever become famous, I just have to assume there's deepfake porn of me forever. So I don't know how other people didn't go to that conclusion, but okay.
I mean, the
Well,
problem
it wasn't
isn't
really that. It was more that one of her like direct friends was watching porn that somebody had made of her. You know,
Hmm.
yeah, because it's
Like-
like Ludwig's girlfriend was the one who was being like very specific.
Ah.
right.
Her name, her handle is QT Cinderella, but that's how I know her because I kind of am vaguely familiar with Ludwig.
I think I only really know him from like his vague interactions with the Trash Taste Boys.
He's about that vibe.
Yeah.
Less weeby though.
Yeah, he's more just kind of like a bro. He is that LA bro YouTuber without the dickishness, as far as I've learned.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad meeting Ludwig. You know, it's like, oh, cool, you're Ludwig. Neat.
You are a person. Hello.
Yeah,
You're not
Like-
an AI.
like I'd be a little tiffed if I like fucking ran into Mr. Beast. It's just like you're wasting money. You're poor at budgeting.
Yeah. Mr. Beast is doing generally good stuff, but I don't like how his solution to every problem is just throw more money at it.
I like how it's clicks. Like, what separates him from P.T. Barnum? You know, hiring on like carnies to
Yeah.
point it.
That's a fair point.
Like, look at all these blind kids that I fixed. Weren't they
And
fucked up?
they weren't even blind. They just had cataracts.
Right, like everything about it is built around this spectacle of Beast being a savior, you know, and it's really hard for me to rectify that with how much everybody else would just be Mr. They had his.
However, if I do meet the guy from Mother's Basement, it is Farrell on site.
Oh yeah. I was talking about that on my Patreon podcast last night. How I just have I have a fucking long list of people now where I'm just like, if I ever get close to that person in real life, not like I'm gonna seek them out, not like this is gonna be premeditated. This isn't gonna hold up in court. But if I happen to encounter, say, a fucking one of the Paul brothers, or like Boingo said, Jeff Few or Elon Musk, it's just I'm just gonna pounce and I'm just gonna start swinging. And as soon as I feel a hand on my back trying to drag me off of them, I'm gonna put my hands around the throat and squeeze as hard as I can for as long as I can.
You gotta get Hitman 3, Vac. There's a whole Jared Leto level.
Oh hell yeah! I didn't even think about Jared Leto. He should totally be on my list.
Yeah. I don't know. Oh man.
You know what's fucking crazy though is Zack Snyder would have totally been on my list until just yesterday when we found out he was actually totally cool about the transition of power.
I mean,
Yeah,
he's
I don't really have any beef with people like Zack Snyder or like Michael Bay, you know? Like
Mhm.
it very much strikes me as these are boys making boy movies with a lot of money, and that probably is the part that fucks me up the most is how much money goes into them, but it's not my fucking money. I don't care.
I don't love the Bayformer movies, but I don't think Michael Bay's a dickhead. I think he's just
Right.
making the movies he wants to make, and he doesn't really care about the franchise they're based on, as long as he can do cool action set pieces.
More importantly for me, he's spending the money from those on really interesting productions by really interesting other people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the money that they generate that makes it into Hasbro's pocket goes back into the development of cool ass toys about stuff I actually like.
Right. And now he has that sort of fuck you money where he can just say, yeah, the US government's totally fucked.
The man who spent 10 years sucking the military's dick can now just go yeah, the US government's bad.
Well, that's Bayos, baby.
I mean, here's the thing. Michael Bay's been making more critically acclaimed movies as of late now that he's out of the Transformers game.
Yeah,
Really?
didn't people say both Pain and Gain and Ambulance were really good?
Yeah. But they're still classic traditional Bay movies.
Yeah, for sure. They're not the sort of thing that I'm going to watch, but I can, respect people enjoying his work, I think that he's a really interesting person. And I think that he's developed into less like scummy shit, like less, putting Megan Fox in a bikini and like filming her when she was like 15 under a waterfall in Bad Boys and shit like that,
Yeah. Oh man, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
But
Well, it seems like so is he, is the important part.
Yeah.
he was very much in that kind of older Hollywood mindset, and then like I just think exposure to the to like the upcoming crop of Hollywood talent just made him go like, wait a second, that shit I was doing was bad.
He's also old now, so he's mellowed the fuck out about a lot of
Oh, yeah.
stuff.
Well, sort of. He's old, but like he still has the energy of like a 13-year-old, and I really feel like that
Like-
that has gone in both directions for him.
I
where
just had a crazy realization.
Yeah.
Michael Bay is the Tony Hawk of directors.
Yeah, kinda. He's like
I can see it.
Guillermo del Toro, except without all the, like subtext.
Except he's not a big, adorable nerd.
Here's the thing: Guillermo del
Oh, he is,
Toro's
though.
hyper focus was folklore and horror stories. Michael Bay's hyper focus as a kid was G.I. Joe. That's the difference.
Like,
I don't think Michael Bay knows G.I. Joe fucking exists.
But you know what I mean? Like he liked
Sure he does.
he
They
liked
made those
military
movies.
stories. He liked soldier stories. He liked war stories.
True,
Yeah,
but like his favorite movie is also West Side Story.
Oh yeah.
that's a war story.
It is. You're right.
A war story.
But also like there's something cool. Like he is experimenting with technology too. Like he
Yeah.
used a lot of drone footage in Ambulance, and like I've seen some of it. It's fucking jaw dropping. The shots he was able to get.
Have you ever seen like the behind the scenes features for Transformers? He had all kinds of like crazy cobbled together camera cars for those movies.
Ridiculous. He is fucking what's his name? Cade whatever the fuck.
Cade Yeager.
He's just this guy that sits around in a garage in a studio making up a bunch of weird shit that like maybe it's not particularly helpful to anybody, but like he's doing it and I respect that.
Yeah. It's better than like certain other directors for certain other franchises we like just kind of point and click in it.
Yeah, for sure. Like even fucking George Romero made fucking Diary of the Dead, that POV one with like Nick Cannon in it. Like there have been more competent directors that have made worse content, I think.
Yeah.
And that's more offensive to me than Michael Bay fucking around with like a bunch of his friends. Like he wrote Patrick Dempsey into a whole ass movie because they hung out one time and he liked his vibe.
That's true.
Like, what are you doing? Did that part exist in the movie? Because he's like the central antagonist.
Yeah, no. He woke up one day and he was like, Patrick Dempsey is going to be Soundwave's bestie now. Fuck Megatron.
For real, like he woke up and like somebody had left Grey's Anatomy on, and he was like, huh.
Not a bad guy.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
And I
Megan,
think
what other model could I hire?
Yeah.
And I think Zack Snyder is not in necessarily the same position, but he'll be in that same vibe as Michael Bay one day in the future of just like he's fucking around making movies that he just finds interesting.
Yeah, because I heard his new zombie movie was shit, but he seems really excited about his other new project.
Well, his new zombie movie was shit, but like also he kicked out a sex pest and replaced him with a lesbian. So like, I agree with what Boingo's saying, where it's like it seems like he's getting out of his weird like weird propagandistic like Christ fixated edgelord period and like getting into stuff that's a little more substantial, at least in terms of like production.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's a guy who I watch on YouTube who makes video essays about movies called Patrick H. Willems.
Yeah.
Yeah. He like I'm just quoting his basic thesis on Zack Snyder is like he's not a fascist. He's not an objectivist. He's not any of those things. He just likes the vibe and the aesthetics of those kind of he likes the vibe and aesthetics of power and strength and all these different things that those ideals also co-op.
I agree with that. Yeah.
He's also one of many creators that only bothered to read the Barnes & Noble graphic novel section to understand DC.
Like I will say his takes on Watchmen not great.
I mean, until you hear his takes on sexual assault and Sucker Punch.
that Sucker Punch reads to me much more of like a guy going like, no, I get it. I get the mental turmoil. And it's like, you're trying.
Sure.
You're trying.
And then his lesson is like, just don't get raped, you dingus.
What
Like,
a wild,
okay.
what a wild fucking time it was to experience Sucker Punch coming out. I just realized, like, that's one of my fucking kids today don't understands. Is like, I remember everybody being hype as shit for Sucker Punch, saying like, this looks like the coolest fucking nerd fusion of all the like Eastern and Western cool film stuff ever, and it's gonna be amazing.
Like a Linkin Park video come to life.
And then it came out, and it was just review after review of what the fuck is this garbage? It doesn't even seem finished.
You remember sitting in the theater and the smile just dropping from my face as it went on, and my friends and I all like turning to each other as we left the theater and going, "Oh my god, that's."
I still haven't fucking seen it. I didn't go to the theater because I think like there were a lot of movies where I was just like, my Christian parents aren't going to let me go see that. But that was one where I was like, I hope I can find that online somewhere after it comes out. And then like seeing all the reviews, I was just like, oh, well, I guess there goes that idea then.
It's a rough one. Like, it's such a downer movie, the thing.
It's interesting because like, I am seeing all these cool, interesting movies and projects being done and worked on.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking for them. And then I just hear everyone complaining like every movie's a Marvel movie. It's like, are you not looking for them? Are you not paying attention?
Yeah,
Well,
no,
a lot of people aren't. A lot of people, like spend their time offline, and only get the mainstream exposure stuff.
And I would love to signal boost that stuff more. It's just like fucking keeping up with everything else, all the fucking genre fiction that we cover on this channel. It takes so much out of my week.
Exactly. Like, I can't even keep up with Kamen Rider, and I'm literally a Kamen Rider page.
You literally have a Fauser suit on its way to your house, don't
I
you?
fucking write Kamen Rider at this point, and I don't keep up with that shit.
Tim Shields is the reincarnation of Shotaro Ishinomori, and he doesn't have time to watch Kamen Rider. That shit's for chumps.
Shotaro Ishinomori said, you know what? My kids said it was good.
It's just a thing, It's just much happens, and
That is an interesting thing to think about, though. Is like if Shotaro Ishinomori were alive today, do you think he'd be like a Jim Cornette or a Sting?
We're gonna find out when I assemble the puzzle and finally manage to make my wish come true.
I have a feeling he'd be much more a Sting. He'd be like, y'all are, because think about it. This is the man who wanted to make Shin Kamen Rider.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like he's not afraid of.
All day.
He's not afraid of fucking with his concept. So just like he probably critiqued some things that he didn't like. It's like, you could have done this better. You could have done this better. But he wouldn't be upset at like.
Sisters, yeah.
You wouldn't be upset of like, oh, that's a dumb. No, he'd be like, oh, you're trying this out. That's cool.
Yeah, I think people forget that Shotaro Ishinomori wrote like 700 manga.
Yeah.
What? I thought he only wrote like Kamen Rider, The Skull Man, and Cyborg 007.
He also wrote Zero.
That's the other 697.
Also, it wasn't 007. It's 009.
Well,
He also wrote a completely unrelated manga called 009, if I remember right.
Oh my god.
That was also about cyborgs.
Did he write Blackjack, or was that Go Nagai?
That was not
Zuka. He wrote Kikaider, I believe, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like pretty much any early 70s Toei tokusatsu he had a part in.
Yeah, he ran that shit. He was the Stan Lee of Toei. I wouldn't agree that he was the Stan Lee of Japan, Scott Zellner, but he was definitely the Stan Lee of Toei.
No. Here's the thing: Japan has a completely different structure in terms of its like big main comic people, because we have Stan the Man, Jack the King,
yeah,
and then we have the Men Who Brought Superman, and we have the Batman tragedy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's American comics. In my opinion, the best way to think about manga is the God, the King, and the Jester. So you have the God, Tezuka, the king, Shotaro Ishinomori, and the jester, Go Nagai.
Yeah, I think that's pretty fair.
The god basically laid out the foundation, gave a lot of inspiration for a lot of different things. Shotaro Ishinomori focused in on action and adventure and made it really exciting. Go Nagai looked at manga in general and was like, what if I just fucked things up and pointed a finger at things and made points about things? And like, this is fucked up and this is fucked up using these tools that we have developed.
In a similar way to how Alan Moore and Frank Miller got together in the 80s and went, hey, what if comic books were good?
Except that Go Nagai got a lot of inspiration from one time when he got explosive diarrhea as a kid and thought he was gonna die.
What
Yeah.
the fuck?
Yeah. Fucking manga lore is fucking wild.
I guess so.
You do realize that Akira Toriyama doesn't like he doesn't understand, like he didn't get why Dragon Ball became so big.
Yeah, dude was redefining literal like action panel layout for the next like 30 years, and he was like,
Because what he wanted to do was be a gag manga artist.
right.
Yeah, didn't he have a gag manga before Dragon Ball that totally flopped?
No, it is like almost just as successful as Dragon Ball in Japan.
Dr. Slump?
Dr. Slump?
Interesting.
Yeah, he's done a ton of stuff. I liked Sandland a lot back when like Shonen Jump came out. They brought that over for like 10 issues. I thought that
I
was
mean,
pretty
it only
cool.
lasted like one volume.
Yeah. Like it was just
Um,
sort of an extra one that they brought in as like a preface for like DBZ.
But
And,
like,
I was
yeah,
that's really cool. I'd love to see like more of his like shorter one-shot manga, you know?
Jacko's fun. The one based on the alien cop from
yeah.
Dragon Ball.
Yeah, I actually have that one.
But like, because that's the thing is like publishing in Japan is different than publishing in America. It's a lot more similar to like English and Franco-Belgian publishing, where it's like anthology magazines with a bunch of different stories and they get later collected into volumes. Where in America we sell individual magazines.
Yeah.
We don't even sell magazines anymore. It's just like, here's a story. It's kind of stapled together.
Yeah. Like
You're
that
not wrong.
that would, I don't say that would fix all of America's comic book problems, but like goddamn, why isn't there an ongoing anthology everywhere just of comic book stories?
Can we fucking agree that they totally fucked up the Walmart DC stuff?
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
It shouldn't have been like, here's a reprint and one original story that we'll put in a trade later. It should have been, here is every fucking book that came out this month as a magazine. Just fucking call it DC Digest and put it right there by the register instead of over next to the fucking Pokemon cards.
I was legit having this rant in another VC earlier today. It's that common of a rant. Like you look at England, they have 2000 AD. You look at like Franco-Belgian area, they have several magazines. Japan has Jump and Sunday and so many manga magazines, it's ridiculous.
But here it's, you gotta buy every book individually every week, and you gotta have a fucking comic book store near you, and you gotta hope it's one that Diamond is nice to and has kind employees who want you to be into this stuff.
Oh, for real. Like the amount of issues that my hardcore right-wing fucking conservative-ass comic book shop guy who blasted like Rush Limbaugh mixtapes like a decade after he went off the air refused to fucking carry. Like he refused to carry North Star's Wedding, the Black Superman issue of Action Comics, like all sorts of just random shit. And it was like,
fuck this guy, Jesus.
Like stuff in actual like canon and stuff too.
Yeah, I live in fucking South Carolina, and I've never encountered anyone who is that bad. Wow.
I live in New England. We're supposed to be progressive.
Yeah, jeez.
Dude lived in his comic shop too. And
Ew, he was one of those?
Yeah, it was real bleak.
That's bad. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's fine. I don't give a fuck.
You don't
Well,
give
I just feel bad because I live in an area with like free, pretty nice comic shops fairly close to me. So
Yeah.
I always hear people say like, "Oh, there's not a comic shop near me," or "Oh, the comic shop near me is full of bastards," and I'm like, I fucking moved to South Carolina.
Oh yeah, no, we had one up here that closed because the people kept harassing every woman that came in.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Good shit. One went out of business because they just straight up didn't like pull comics ever.
Wow.
It
Yeah, no,
it's
there's a
just
comic book store right next to the college campus I work at, and they legitimately are very assertive about we are a family store. People come in here of all ages, races, and sexualities, and they fucking read comics and they play tabletop games and they have a good time. And if you're not about that, you can get the fuck out.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's great. Like I love the idea of comic shops as sort of like a community hub, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like me and Cody Snowcone, he's not here. He had a ear infection.
Yeah.
Fucking with him. We got fucking food recently at a restaurant, and there was a comic shop right next to near it. That was one of the best I've been in forever. It had great selection of books, had like just a good long 2 rows of long boxes, just Marvel, DC, indie stuff. A genuine dollar bin, which every comic book store needs.
Yes.
There are some guys playing some Warhammer. Just a dude on his computer doing something else. No big issue.
Legit.
It's a good place.
Dope.
Yeah. You know, I need to get back to going to comic book stores. As soon as I finish my current 2 read pile, I'm probably gonna go, because that place I was just talking about, that's actually a new location they moved to like right at the end of last year, and I've been meaning to go check that out, but I'm like, I don't want to spend money on comics if I have comics to fucking read.
Feel you.
Like
Fine,
this
So-
comic store even had
my jacket and I'm all good.
they even had Gundams and D&D terrain for model building.
That's great. That's
Nice.
always helpful. Like for me, as a go to comic shops for like Pathfinder stuff and like Gundams, and be very, very disappointed by the lack of selection. That's always a
Hmm.
Like they even had a really cool looking Frankie statue from One Piece.
Whoa.
nice.
Like, oh my god. You walk into the front door, they had a full-on life-size Alex Ross Martian Manhunter statue.
Whoa. Okay. Alex Ross, usually I'm like, yeah, that's pretty prerequisite for a comic book shop, but Martian Manhunter, that's a fucking choice.
But here's the thing. I love Martian Manhunter, so they immediately had my heart.
Oh yeah, no. I fucking agree with you on that, but like most people are there's 2 types of people. There's people who fucking love Martian Manhunter, and there are people who are like, yeah, he's whatever. I could take him or leave him. So the fact that they had a Martian Manhunter statue tells you that like this is good people.
Yeah, it was because you first look at it and it's like, oh shit, what the fuck? It's cool. Good
It's that
place.
boy.
There was a comics about an hour for a while that had to shut down.
A museum.
Yeah, because Eastman and Laird came from like an hour from me.
Mm.
So it was like this big like Ninja Turtles with like this diorama, like life size of Ninja Turtles, like scaling down this like an escalator, TMNT stuff. It was very cool, but before you went in there, you had to go around a corner to the elevator, and they had this Blondie strip laid out in this piece of plexiglass, so you would be leaning over that, and that would trigger a motion sensor that would blue light a giant like life-size xenomorph statue that they had.
What the fuck?
With a projecting like pneumatic mouth. So you'd be reading this little fucking goofy nonsense bullshit Sunday strip Blondie comic, and all of a sudden there's this fucking xenomorph bearing down on you.
They're
Fucking great.
Their business model is just to give people heart attacks?
Yeah, and they were like, okay, now fucking go down there, 6-year-olds. Go hang out in the basement now.
Fucking
Go
kids
look
just
at 7-foot tall anthropomorphic turtles. That won't fuck you up.
the kids who just got done watching Bluey are now exposed to xenomorphs for the first time and then are going to go watch the Ninja Turtles. Nice.
It was a very, very strange experience, and one that I hold with me to like that store was fucking dope. They sold like Diamondback cards from Cerebus the Aardvark and shit.
Oh, man.
I mean, cool that they have something weird and interesting, but also, Cerebus.
You and fucking Cerebus, man.
Well, I mean, fair. Dave Sim's a fucking monster, but I think that Cerebus, as it ends with him dying cold and alone to accept the progress of society. And I'm like, that really falls right in line with his life saying, like, he's just terrified of the world all the time, or his ex-wife, rather, obviously.
Yeah, but also, like, the progress of the world is framed as fucking hashtag evil feminists ruining everything.
Exactly. Like, it's so weird because, like, even the projection of that he puts into the comic, everybody ends up just, like, being chill with at the end of it. And then Cerebus fucking falls out of bed and snaps his neck trying to murder his kid. And I know that Dave Sim doesn't think this, but this is actually, like, the perfect ending for Cerebus.
But like before all that started, wasn't he also like violently insistent about like printing out the dots and putting them on manually?
Yeah, his Kirby dots. Yeah, you would glue them on. And, like, then he went on to write Jew Hate, which
Oh,
I'm not
nice.
a fan of. That's basically just his holy terror.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna title something Jew hate, I'm gonna assume it's generally not a good time.
Well, that's the translation. He titled it in the original German,
Oh,
which is
That's even worse.
yeah,
German?
he's a German Jew.
Dave. Oh dear.
Daverino.
Yeah.
Dave
You got
Ski,
some
what you
issues.
doing over there? We should do
But,
that. I just had a fucking hilarious idea for MMWP. We do the I forget what podcast it was, but there was some independent comic podcast that had a segment called Dialing Dave, where they would literally just look up people called Dave Sim in phone books and call them to see if it was the actual Dave Sim.
That's
And
incredible.
eventually he found out about it and called them.
Oh,
But he was nice about it. He's like, that's funny, let's do an interview. But I just had an idea of we revive that segment on MMWP, and eventually when we find him, we just go, "Are you okay? You all right,
Yeah,
buddy?
really.
You want to talk? Sounds like you're
Well,
having a
that's
rough
the
time
thing
over there."
is that, like, his ex-wife says he's basically entirely a shut-in and a recluse at this point, and it's like, oh
Oh,
man.
he's gone full Steve Ditko.
So this is Cerebus is like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
That's not
I
great.
have a cool idea for a segment where we call Scott McAdams and we get him to tell us where he lives and over there and we hit him with pipes.
What did he do again?
The Dilbert guy?
Oh yeah, Dilbert.
Why do we not like Dilbert? I've not heard about this.
He's basically just full-on fascist at this point.
Oh, sick!
Yeah.
I
And he
love
used-
beating up those guys.
And he used Dilbert to basically like pretty right wing fucking conspiracy theories and values.
My favorite was the one where he tried to introduce a new black character to make fun of like racial diversity in the workplace, but he forgot to include he didn't color it in because of course, why would he? Why would he? Because he thinks everybody's white, right? So none of the newspapers printed the character as black, so it was just being introduced as this white guy causing a bunch of trouble in the workplace.
That's insane.
So he's such a cartoon.
Yeah.
Fucking the Earthworm Jim guy, similar situation.
Oh
what
yeah.
happened to
Fucking
indie-
hell with
indie cartoons?
Here's the thing.
I mean-
That there was at least a little bit of a hint of what would be, because I actually read one of his indie books before I like learned more about who he was.
Sure.
It was the one like the parasite on the dude and he finds Jesus.
I mean, isn't everybody like also up in arms about fucking Harry Potter again this week?
Oh yeah, because their video game is a racism simulator.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, like they
And
there's
there's
been a lot of reveals about that game.
and people just closing their eyes and putting their fingers in their ears. Otherwise, don't look like anti-Semitism to me.
Yeah, and it's like, well, that's because it's what we call a dog whistle, you know?
I literally saw all that discourse and I was just like, are we still having the fucking Harry Potter debate in the year of our Lord 2023? I thought we got over this like a decade ago. I finally accepted that Harry Potter is just bad and I can't even be nostalgic for it anymore last year. Enough already.
I have dropped it 100% completely. Right now, my Harry Potter books are just being used to prop up my figures with the spines to the back. You can just see paper. No, like, here's the thing. You like, everyone goes like, yeah, but the Harry Potter is about like fighting these things and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, on a surface level, sure, but you dig even an inch deeper, you see all of the bullshit she's been spouting the entire time in that book.
Right.
Oh, you mean the manipulative reporter character in the fourth book is described with having mannish hands and a deeper voice? Oh, I wonder why she's so duplicitous, JK.
Yeah. I mean, even earlier stuff than that, like the second book, I believe, is was it the second one? I don't know. I haven't read fucking Harry Potter. But there's one where like they defeat the Bogart by like having Snape dress up like a woman, shit like that. There's the stuff with Spew, where like Hermione basically gets dragged for being anti-slavery. There's shit
Yeah.
like fucking Harry taking Cho out on Valentine's because he was the closest person to her dead boyfriend, and she doesn't want to be alone on Valentine's Day, so she spends it with this one person who knew the person he had lost, and the entire time he's just like, oh man, are we gonna make out or are you gonna shut the fuck up? And then just bails the first opportunity he gets. Like, there's all sorts of really fucked up weird
I
shit.
completely forgot about that bit. Wow.
Oh, there's even more fucked up shit with Cho Chang because her name is an antiquated romanization of a Chinese last name and a Korean last name.
Like, and then you get to all the anti-Semitism and shit, and it's like, oh god.
Oh, that's also odd also to include the fucking like colonial fucking remnants of Ireland. How the only character that betrays the trust of Harry Potter is the only Irish student we see more than 1 second of. And in the movies, they make him make bombs.
It's just like an onion, and every layer is just more,
I'm just having the moment again. I'm just taking it in.
Hey, back, do I need to explain the fucking bullshit with the bombs?
I've read the books, sir.
No, here's the thing. There was a long period of time.
I know what the fucking are!
Well, you could have said that! Instead of being weird and like side-eyeing to a say what you mean!
Look, I don't like it. I don't like any of this fucking shit, and it's making me uncomfortable.
Think of it as exfoliating. Sometimes you gotta rough up your skin to make it cleaner. But it's just not good. And it's just hilarious how people are literally that one scene from Community. If I can excuse blank, but I can't. I can excuse racism, but I can't like excuse something.
I can't excuse giving me spoilers for a video game.
Yeah, you know.
Oh dear.
It even looks like a trash video game. It's made by the same. It's made by the same developers who made Dragon Ball Z Saga.
Who's crazy?
I'm kind of tempted to watch the Angry Joe video because I do remember him like being very into Harry Potter back in the day.
Oh, he's fully on the fuck SJWs train. He's a chud.
Believe it.
Nice. I haven't watched him in a few years, so that's great to hear.
So he's very much on the line of like buy 2 copies to piss them off kind of vibe.
Cool.
I mean, I makes sense. You know, you get your bids for as long as you have a platform.
I mean, wasn't his big joke in Kick-Assia about how he wants Chick-fil-A to stay open on Sundays so he can eat their chicken sandwiches every day of the week?
I can't pretend to know enough about Angry Joe to be able to give you an answer there, buddy.
Did you just completely miss the Tigwatig era there, Tim?
No, I just don't give a fuck about it. Like, I think that Doug Walker, the bottom of the barrel into criticism.
Oh yeah, they are, but like it was a time. It was the building block for the era we're in now. So I still the ones of those people who haven't turned out to be complete shitheads, I still have a modicum of respect for. Like,
absolutely.
I don't really like keep up with Linkara, but I don't have anything bad to say about him because he seems like an on the level guy who's just trying his best to keep his numbers up.
Which one?
Linkara.
Oh yeah, I have no real beef on Kara. That's about the long and short of my feelings on most of these people.
Mm-hmm. Who are you watching a lot these days, though? What kind of channels are you really into? Because I don't think that's something we've ever really discussed.
No, I've been watching Jorg Rockwell Smith a lot lately. I think he's really, really interesting.
I think I watched his videos a couple years ago. Like I watched some then. I think if I'm thinking of this right guy.
He's very very UK, yeah.
Very dry UK.
Yeah. He mostly just like does little rants about politics these, and I've just found those like really intoxicating. I've been watching a lot of Caravan of Garbage. Just because like it's just two Aussies talking about like, you know, popular and shit, and that's fun. I've been watching Keza Henshin makes I think really good really good videos. Meek Ale has been like just killing it on really interesting Ultraman topics. If anybody's interested in those,
I should probably look into that because I'm trying to get into. I am into Ultraman now. I just don't know very much about it, like I do the other Toku franchises.
sure, yeah.
I've been watching Technology Connections,
Mm.
Nice.
which is yeah. Da-da-dam-dam-dam.
He's a good boy.
And been reliving DBZ Abridged with the creator commentaries that Lanny and Kaiser have been doing.
Mm.
But also Taka feeling left out did one on his VTube Twitch just by himself. He's just salty half of the time.
I was gonna say it's like every other comment, like a fucking what's the thing, like a backhanded joke about how he wasn't in the main commentaries.
A little bit, like not that frequent, but he also has a lot of love for the people, like the guys, and it's just like he's just like going like, these were some of the best, like these guys were some of I'm so proud of what we were able to accomplish kind of vibes.
Nice.
Yeah. All the while he is a little fairy doing a pro wrestling bridge, watching it.
Meanwhile, I'm over here doing my normal thing of trying to get through the thing for AF this month and watching all of Fuse videos in reverse order.
I've been checking out Road Russell. Because I've been trying to get into Transformers, and I think he does a really great job.
I've not heard of him. What kind of content does he do typically?
Well, he did a 3-hour political breakdown of the War for Cybertron games that I thought was really great, but like mostly he just does like 10 to half hour long 10-minute to half hour long like review of like maybe a character of Transformers history or differences of Transformers and stuff like that. He just talks about Transformers a lot in ways. And I think like more poignant ways than I'm used to seeing Transformers talked about. Like he talks about Transformers the way that I think that Transformers should be. You know what I mean? Like how it doesn't necessarily always add up to in my eyes, but the spirit of how it should add up to.
I think it's just the problem of having a franchise based around a toyetic property.
For sure.
It's hard to get people to take it serious when half of the show is just buy the toy, buy the toy, buy the toy. It kind of weakens any metaphor or theme you can find in the rest of the show.
Absolutely. And that's why, like, for me, it's helpful instead of like, watching 80 episodes of a show that I'm not necessarily grokking with, to watch somebody who's really excited about the cool parts and have them talk to me about those cool parts and like what those mean, like I really like that weird existential cosmic horror of season 3 of Gen 1 Transformers, which I've recently just plowed through because it was for some reason incredible to me, and like it has that really weird dynamic where it keeps juxtaposing against that corny ass like G1 dad humor. And like I think that really works, and I think we see that like come together to like full fruition in the 86 movie, where like half of it is just fucking weird nonsense. Weird Al shows up, fucking, and then also Transformers are swearing and dying on screen and like pits of acid and shit. They meet their gods, and their gods are these 5-headed weird fucking monsters.
I
Like,
love that movie and how insane
so
it gets.
crazy.
But I'm also willing to acknowledge that it is complete bullshit.
Yeah, 70% of it is garbage. H Bomber Guy did an incredible video on it years ago.
Oh yeah, that video.
I don't agree with all of the breakdown of themes on that, but like, yeah, great video.
Yeah, amazing video. And yeah, I mean, it's H Bomber Guy. There's always going to be a few things that I disagree with.
I don't know. I like
video.
I like a lot of his videos. I like the Deus Ex breakdown. Yeah. I like it more when he's less saying this thing is absolutely great and you're all assholes, and much more of like, this is a thing that has a lot of great and a lot of bad, or this is a thing that has a lot of bad, but here's some good.
Right, right, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Like his Dark Souls 2 video, it very much is like tons of subjective points that he's asserting as if they're completely solid. Whereas something more like his Transformers video, I think, is the sweet spot for HVG, where he's like, I have a lot of feelings about this. I don't know if they're valid. I don't know if they're invalid. I don't really care about that. It is a bunch of feelings that I have about the thing. And like, I think that's my favorite approach generally to criticism, is that sort of conversation where you meet the media halfway. You know what I mean?
That being said, though, I do like a good funny man whose whole shtick is like, "No, I'm right and you're wrong," and blah 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 blah. When it's a joke,
Yeah, for sure.
Or
people
like
who
when
actually think they are definitively right and cannot be argued with are assholes.
Yeah.
there's also the level of like B-Mask is a good example of just like display and thought, but it's just like no one is arguing against it, so I think I'm just right. So I don't know kind of vibes.
For sure, yeah.
Like his whole assertion on Don Bluth.
So I do love when he occasionally will just do a video of like, "I like this thing. What's wrong with you?"
Fantastic Four is great. Fuck you.
Hercules is great. Fuck you.
God, Hercules.
Yeah.
I love the bit where he fights the bear.
It's so good.
Oh man, I need to watch more Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. I've seen that. I've seen True Lies. I've seen Jingle All the Way, and of course, I've seen the first two Terminators.
Did you see Last Action?
No.
Oh my
Last
God.
Action Hero is really good.
It has
People
Danny
have told
DeVito
me.
as a cartoon cat detective.
Whoa!
Yeah.
How has no one ever told me this?
I don't know.
Because it didn't do well in the box office, so nobody remembers it that well.
That's right. Nostalgia Critic said it was bad too.
Oh, well.
He remembered it, so you didn't have to back.
I'm gonna have
Here's the
some
thing:
words about that.
can he not? My ADHD memory is already bad enough. I'd like to
Right.
remember more things.
That's the thing, is that like I had like a year where I just watched like all of Nostalgia Critic's stuff when I first found it because
Oh, now
was
it
like-
comes out.
Oh no, I'm more than open about that. Like I literally found him in like 2012, I want to say. So this was like after he came back and everybody was like, "This is the worst," because fucking his sitcom thing had failed.
Oh yeah, okay.
So like I just watched all of it just like as a TV show more than as like criticism, because I was like, let's figure out where this died, right? And it's the Moulin Rouge review, by the way. So spoilers.
Yeah. Oh god, that fucking.
But fuck, I forgot what I was even saying. Shit.
You're saying fuck and shit.
That's true. That does sound like
I think you were saying Nostalgia Critic bad.mp4.
something.
Is that the
along-
one where Bill Clinton says he does not have sexual relations with that woman?
That's exactly that one. Great.
I remember now. I watched through all this Nostalgia Critic reviews, and I was like, oh, I guess these movies that I watched and I liked must have sucked, because like this guy is saying that they all suck, and then I would sit there rewatching them alongside the review, and I was like, wait a minute, no, he just can't read media.
Media literacy is just in general gone down the shitter.
I got to this point where he's like shitting on Deadpool for making jokes that don't make any sense, and it's like, oh no, it just went over your head. Oh no.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, Doug's made a lot of shitty points, and he is not the best filmmaker in the world. He's very far from that, in fact. However, I do agree. Like, I loved B-Mask's fucking kick-assy video. I've talked about this a lot, but I do agree with kind of the consensus he comes to at the end of that of like, yeah, Doug really got up his own ass in a rye for a long time there, but he seems in a similar way. Both James and Doug are in this weird, like, new renaissance period where they've, like, dug out of their own asshole and are, like, getting back to basics and making content that feels, like, much more, I don't want to say true to them, but, like, down to earth, and, like, we're not trying to be the smartest person in the world anymore.
Well, that's the benefit of being rich.
The benefit of money.
Doug Walker is the Michael Bay of YouTube.
Exactly.
No, Ray William Johnson. No, fuck that. Fuck me. Fuck that for joke.
No, why would you ever say anything nice about Ray William Johnson?
Smosh.
Yes. Okay, there you go. Yeah. Have you not heard, Tim? New Smosh is great.
Are they?
It's more of a comedy troupe than just a duo of making dumb videos.
Good. Yeah, I mean, they would have to evolve that.
Like Ian's barely in the videos now, but when he shows up, it's always great. And the people that are in the videos now are very funny and very creative.
And Anthony's off doing his own thing.
Hmm.
That's dope. Good for them. Like I'm glad to see that being used for something instead of nothing, you know? Like I remember the point where that became like a children's reaction channel for a while. I was like, all right.
Yeah,
That's
that was a bad time.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a strange direction to go, I think.
It is, yeah.
very very like 2010s.
Oh, I could go deeper.
Oh yeah.
I was fucking disappointed when Rhett and Link pivoted to Good Mythical Morning because I missed their other content more. I like that stuff better.
No,
So I
That's
never really.
That's always such a bizarre take for me to hear from you because everybody I know who watches Rhett and Link, and I've never fucking watched their channel, but everybody tells me they know Rhett and Link from Good Mythical Morning and that it's the best thing ever, man. I can't believe you haven't seen it.
accent.
In that exact accent, yeah. Everybody
Oh.
turns into a fucking Few Adams parroting a dumbass friend of his when they tell me about Rhett and Link. That's exactly what happens in real life.
And here I am going like, I missed the Pillow song. I liked the stop motion T-shirts.
Not much.
Yeah, they did a whole stop motion T-shirt stuff with
That's sick. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, it's very old. And they
I mean,
also did
honestly, these days most stop motion is old.
I mean,
We got, like,
something funny I would say that's kind of contrarian about current YouTube. I miss when Il Nash did reviews. I'll never forget the fucking awakening of like media criticism that his Aragon review gave me.
I know what you mean. I feel like everybody that gets into criticism sort of has that that moment with somebody you realize like, oh my god, this is something I can like actually do. Like people do this. People talk about this.
Not even that of just like, oh, being able to acknowledge that there's flaws in a thing that I liked growing up.
Oh, even better, yeah.
Like I think everybody kind of has their stupid period as a kid where you just kind of take everything that's given to you and you're like, yeah, this is the thing I like and it's just generally good and I just kind of accept whatever new installment comes out. And then there's a period you hit in like your mid to late teens where you're like, oh no, parts of this is bad and I can pick that out and I can see that in other things and the world is a beautiful canvas of many colors.
You collapse in on yourself and everything becomes stark black and white. 1 out of 10s or 10 out of 10.
You go to movie Bob route.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think that's why the thumbs up was such a good metric. It's just like, did you like it? Yeah. You can't really quantify, I enjoyed it. You can quantify like, I didn't like it. So 50-50.
That's my thing though. It's like then where's the? I guess that's true.
That's where the 2 thumbs up comes in.
That's the paragraphs you write under the thumbs up, thumbs down.
Yeah, it's just like I vibe with it. Here's why.
And here I am constantly insisting on the nuance of a 10-star system.
Oh, God.
Here I am going like maybe you should just work with vibes. You should have to write
because people always go like 2.5 and I'm like, oh, shut the
I hate that shit so much.
Either do 1 to 5 or do 1 to 10 since you're fucking doing that anyway.
It feels like the biggest cop out. It's like, why don't you just fucking rate it fucking 2.5 over 6 nights dream drop distance?
Real, why don't you just come in my house and fuck my dog at that point?
Why don't you just come?
Like, Jesus Christ.
No, here's the thing. You want to know my perfect review system? Whenever you review a thing, you have to write a 1-sentence like poem about it of your opinions.
If you're gonna do a movie review show, you have to pull a Saru brother and open every video with "and now a haiku."
Yeah, you have one haiku, 575. Pop. That's your rating, and then you can go and explain it.
Lord, I am seeing on my Steam right now Vampires for 29 hours. I've had this fucker for...
Good job.
God.
So proud of you.
No, bad job.
Tim has videos to make.
What the fuck?
What
happened?
the fuck? Life happens. It gets in the way.
Tim's like, shit, I could have watched all of Geats in that time.
I literally could have, though. Like twice.
You could have watched all of Geats and all of Gateway to Geats.
could have watched all of Geats and just finished, like, caught all the way up on Dawn Brothers, like, on top of that.
Oh my god.
What a waste of my life. Holy shit, uninstall.
This is why Tim needs to be on Twit more regularly, so he can have the motivation to not play video games and watch Tokusatsu instead.
Existential crises.
I just freaking call up Buster. I'm like, sorry, Tim needs the job more than you.
You've been replaced.
Good day, sir.
I said good day. And then Buster comes back in with an everlasting gobstopper, and you look up at them with joy and adoration. You pass.
Tim's just in the background the whole time, like, but you could just have free hosts on the show. I don't see why it has to be two.
I come in like Slughorn.
I'm picturing you in that getup too, with like your beard shaved and everything.
Nazi glasses and shit.
Oh man, I would love a pair of pinchy glasses.
The pinch nez, I believe they used to call
Yeah,
them.
pinch nez, where they just go on the top of your nose.
Yeah. Yeah, no, honestly, it's such a sick style. I love, like, just the idea that they hold themselves there without those little arms in them, you know?
It'd be a great pair of sunglasses to get with that. Get some, like, Gurren Lagann, like, giant triangles.
Yeah, the Squirtle Squad sunglasses, yeah.
Yes, and nothing else. Those sunglass shapes are related to no other project of art and interest.
Who the fuck is Kamina? Man, I'm looking at these fucking pinch glasses now. These are dope as hell.
Yeah. Right? Here's the thing. I don't think I'd be able to pull them off.
Look at this man. He looks so much more superior than all of us.
Well, speak for yourself.
Oh, the guy over here has pinch nose glasses thinking he's superior.
Mm-hmm.
Superior is one of his nose.
This dude too. This dude looks like he's about to deliver like the most important exposition in the movie and then just drop out of the plot.
Yeah. So those aren't pinch nets. They got arm bars.
They got arms on the side. Yeah.
Oh yeah. What's up with that there?
The chains in the front. Don't you wear that
Flare.
around the back?
Oh, you know why they don't have why they have that extra shit? They're fucking Gucci. They are Gucci ha 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 pince nez glasses in gold metal for $800 fucking dollars. Jesus Christ!
Gross. You can get a pair of pinch nez on like Amazon for like $10.
Yeah,
look good for like $10.
You could probably get like a replica of Neo's ones for 20. Or not Neo's, what's his name? Morpheus. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, those Morpheus. Like that's the thing that makes me go like, oh, I can never really pull it off because like Lawrence Fishburne's a handsome ass man, and I'm not nearly handsome as Lawrence Fishburne.
He sure is. Oh man, I hope James Gunn keeps him as Perry White. He was such a good Perry White for like the 2 scenes we got.
Remember the time he bought every copy of his daughter's porno?
What?
To keep other people from watching it.
I have not heard about this. What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's insane. Okay.
Pretty wild headline.
Yeah.
I don't know why I remember. Why does my brain read like?
Yeah, you've been reading up some random ass facts tonight.
But no ass facts. No facts about the ass.
Yeah, what's up with that, man?
You were the one doing the Goatsy Optimus Prime. I said on the front.
You must spread these ass cheeks, or Megatron will get Energon with your poop. Energon poop.
That's the biofuel from Last Bot Standing, yeah.
Oh my god. You've read Last Spot Standing. Way to go, buddy.
I did. I love me some Hot Rod.
How'd you feel about that on the whole there?
I thought it was so good, Vac, and then he turns Super Saiyan. And I was like, oh, okay. This is why I can't take this shit seriously. I was like, you know what I would have done is had him bleed out on the deck of the fucking ship, and then Steeljaw just sees his body and realizes that this entire fucking conflict has been pointless, in fact, and that all the fucking Transformers do is just bring war into fucking other places, and Hot Rod was just right the whole fucking time, and he just consigns himself to death because he's just killed, like, the only people that fucking he's been trying to save the entire time in trying to save them. Like,
yeah.
It's
but no, IDW just had to go out on a feel-good note.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like, yeah, fuck it. Yeah, why not? And also, Cybertron comes back to life. Why not? Fuck it. Oh, here's Optimus. Why not? Ultra Magnus does not be a dick so much anymore. Cool.
He totally wants to bone Hot Rod.
Yeah, like, why not? Why not just fucking...
Here's a question. What if you read all of that as, like, the fever dreams of a man dying?
Then it would be better, I guess, is what I'm saying. I don't know. Like, I thought it was, like, it's fine as an ending, but, like, it could have been so...
It's on the verge of greatness.
It really was. Like, I really enjoyed the premise of it all.
But has that turned you off of the rest of IDW at all?
Oh, no, of course not.
Yeah.
No, that's one entry. As far as I'm concerned, it standalone, right?
Yeah. Like, I don't even think it's supposed to be in continuity with either of their other universes.
Yeah, like, I'm pretty lax with Transformers in terms of, like, continuity, like, like, I'm a Gen 1 fan. I'm not exactly asking for standardized quality in Transformers.
Well, I mean, growing up with the Unicron trilogy, you just kind of got used to the concept of reboots and, like, new versions of characters way before everyone else in society.
Exactly, right.
So, like, all the people complaining about, like, multiverse shit being too confusing now, I'm like, bitch, come on.
I say hello as being a Marvel fan growing up.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I've just been sort of dipping a toe into, like, every different variation of it that sticks, you know? The IDW stuff I think is actually really interesting. I got through Autocracy. I thought that was really solid, like, as a whole setup. I think I prefer the Cybertron games more for all the Cybertron stuff. I liked the idea of it. In my opinion, it's a better approach to it all than animated. I'm not the biggest animated fan, although I do understand all of the merits, and I don't think it's a bad show or anything. I just think it's, like, written a little too kiddie.
Yeah, I'm definitely one of those people who's like, yeah, animated's good, it's just not my cup of tea.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I was the wrong age when I watched it a couple of weeks ago. So, like, I understand that, but, like, at the same time,
I was on the ground in 2008, buddy, and let me tell you, I was much more interested in the Bayverse because I thought that was the Transformers for cool older kids like me.
Exactly, that's the mature one, like Dreamwave. Folly of youth, eh?
I do want to go back and, like, read through all of IDW though now that it's over, because, like, I've been very scattershot with my approach to that, pun not intended. I've read, like, miniseries and, like, the start of various series here and there, but I've not, like, done a full dive into any era. Like, people told me for ages, oh, you gotta read More Than Meets the Eye, it's the best thing ever, and I'm like, sick, I've read the first 10 issues. I'll get back to it someday. But then again, I also say, like, I'd like to read all of Marvel at some point, and that's clearly not gonna happen anytime. I mean the Marvel Transformers series, not all of Marvel Comics' entire publishing history, Boingo Rider.
Well, you say Marvel, I'm just immediately going to go like...
I should have known. I needed to clarify.
Marvel is get to the end, and it just keeps going.
You'll be 80, and you'll go like, I have finally gotten to the year 1975.
I really liked Marvel the End, though. I thought that was an interesting story.
It's a neat concept because the End was a full, like, publishing initiative. Right. But it's just complicated enough that you can't explain it well.
Oh no, I thought it worked really well as, like, a natural conclusion to Thanos' whole, self-destruction thing.
Because here's the thing, that's the only one that's canon.
Yeah, right.
Because the rest of them are just, hey, we brought this guy who's really well known for writing these characters back to do the hypothetical last story for them. The end.
Right. And, like, I love that the conclusion that he comes to is, wait, I'm just a giant sack of shit. I'm just gonna get rid of me, and then everything else will go back to being normal. I just suck. I'm gonna go, guys.
And then he comes back.
Snaps himself instead.
But he comes back in, like, Annihilation.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Fucking Thanos,
I just think
man.
that's, like, such a great conclusion for Thanos as a character.
I mean, he hasn't had the death motivation ever since then. It's much more about, like, power. I just want to do shit. Fuck you. You know,
Yeah.
Marvel has some good stuff going on right now, but they also has some stinkies.
Yeah, you want to tell us all about Dark Web, Boingo?
I'd rather not. Fuck that shit.
But isn't Rec Rap the best thing ever?
Rec Rap's the only good thing out of that, except maybe some of the X-Men stuff that happened.
Don't you love the Golden Goblin?
We both liked the Golden Goblin when it happened.
You haven't talked about a single issue since the first one, though.
Yes, I have.
I do not recall it at all.
Well, that just shows you're not paying attention to your friend while he's talking about comic books.
Oh, I apologize, buddy. That's my bad there. I'm sorry. But how about MJ being married to another fucking guy who we've never seen before?
Oh, that's okay. So I started reading the next issue of Spider-Man after Dark Web, and it like starts off real promising. Oh, Spider-Man and Black Cat are hanging out. They're fighting crime. Oh, it's cute. There's fun banter. It's cute flirting. I'm like, all right, cool. It's like you're going somewhere with this. And she goes like, oh, Peter, just one weekend. That's like, I'm not asking much. Just one weekend. Take it for yourself. Let's go relax at the ski lodge.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you know what, Felicia, that sounds great. They get to the ski lodge, guess who's fucking there?
Uh-huh. I've seen those panels.
Ah.
Wait, really?
Here's the thing. Yeah, MJ and her fucking husband.
90s Power Rangers plot.
And then here's the thing. After that, it gets good again.
That's good.
Because they walk outside and they see a bunch of supervillains running around with like stolen tech, and MJ and Spider-Man go like, "Oh shit, fuck! Trouble follows us." And then White Rabbit shows up and goes like, "Whoa! Hold on. These are just rich people just playing pretend. We just give them the experience of like being a supervillain for fun." Oh, okay. Do we stop this? Is this bad? And then all the rich fucks like gang up on them and go like, "Fuck you." And like that's a cute idea.
Yeah, but it sounds like no, it doesn't sound like it. Really fucking feels like we're at the point where it would just be better if MJ was just dead in canon.
It's just there's a level of
if only Marvel had let her die in that plane crash all those years ago, so much suffering would have been avoided.
It's just I just don't understand why there's all this like bending over backwards to keep the character around. And like,
that's the thing is you can't really have your cake and eat it. I don't go around hanging.
Oh, but they're fucking determined to. Seriously, like, why are we holding on to this bullshit if clearly everyone and their mom wants to go back to Peter and MJ being married, except for Joe Quesada, and he doesn't even work at Marvel anymore.
Here's the thing, I wouldn't
Spectre hanging around the office.
I wouldn't even mind if they just were like, all right, Peter and Felicia, just keep it steady. Just do it. Just like, stick to it.
And don't fucking beat us over the head with MJ. If you want her out of here, just get her the fuck out of here. Like, remember when she was in Bendis's Iron Man and it was the best thing ever? Could we just go back to that?
But no, she's a long-standing important character, and we have to have her around. I mean, just like Harry Osborn, it's not like he's currently dead in the fucking comics.
Why don't we just bring back Gwen Stacy? Why doesn't fucking Uncle Ben come and hang out with all these new characters too? Let's just do this, huh?
Didn't they bring back Uncle Ben in like Spider Island or some shit?
No, there was
an alternate version of him in Spider-Verse from an Earth where he got bitten by the spider, but that wasn't 616 Peter's Uncle Ben coming back to life.
It's 6 of 1 6.
That should be a joke in a Marvel comic at some point. Are you from Earth 616? No, I'm from Earth 6 of 6.
I do feel ashamed making it.
But like most every other book I read at Marvel is pretty good.
Yeah, how about that Daredevil this week, buddy?
Daredevil's good. Punisher's good. Both Captain Americas are pretty solid.
Mm-hmm.
The X books are all tickling my fancy.
Remember that time Punisher turned black and went undercover Luke Cage for like 3 months?
I'd rather not remember it.
That was a real weird one. I don't have like a point to make or anything about it. It's just like
you just like stirring shit up, don't you?
That I got in like a sealed like bag of like random comics from like a KB Toys back in the day.
Oh.
So like it always stuck with me. It's always just like one of those like throwback like 90s comics like storylines where I'm like, wow, someone wrote that.
Yeah. Someone wrote this.
I rewatched Steel the other day.
Oh no.
That movie kind of fucking slaps, I'm not gonna lie.
What?
I love that shit.
Damn.
He
I
got lured in by the Shaquille O'Neal.
I got lured in by Shaq and Hot Rod. They got me. Once we get to the fucking Sparks, the wheelchair lady, fucking, oh god, I was all in. And then Shaft comes out?
Timothy
he's
Shieldington, you are causing so much wild in me right now.
No, I loved it. It's so fun, and it's cute, and it's sweet. And like, they named the bad guy the Man. Like, it's just such a wonderful little, like, campy 90s time capsule, you know what I mean?
And then Blade comes in and goes like, "This is how you really do a black superhero, you dumbasses."
I think Blade is much less black than Steel is. Like, Steel is all about a bunch of black people and like disabled people rallying together against a white weapons manufacturer leaking guns into the inner city. That's a way more black storyline.
Well, what's Blade's storyline?
He can sometimes walk outside at night and he kills vampires because his mom got raped by a vampire.
And what color was that vampire?
A white guy. And how much focus is that given in the story?
No, I just wanted to point that out.
There you go.
I would also like to point out that this is two white men having this debate right here.
That's true. Yeah, I mean that's that's the big thing. Is like I've been talking to a lot of people about. It's kind of a cult classic these days.
Is it?
Yeah.
I haven't heard. Here's the thing. I haven't heard anyone fucking mention that movie since I saw the Nostalgia Critic review.
Well, exactly, because that's what I'm saying. Like, once you go back and watch the Nostalgia Critic talked about, you're like, oh, maybe Nostalgia Critic just isn't very good.
Maybe this guy is just poo-poo dickhead.
Like, I watched Jingle All the Way. It slaps.
Oh yeah, no, Jingle Ball All the Way is one of the best movies ever made.
Yeah, what a fun fucking movie. Like, I watched fucking, I don't know, Nostalgia Critic's review. It's been a long time. I don't know, The Matrix.
The Room is actually great.
Here's the
One
thing.
day I'll make the video.
Here's the big thing I'll just say is like, Steel didn't have a rocket-powered hammer, and I'm upset about that.
It still had a rocket-powered fucking wheelchair, though, dog.
But it's not a rocket-powered hammer.
Well, he rode an escalator. Just pretend it had fire coming out.
Oh my god.
That shit was so charming when he's just like, "Have a nice day" to the old ladies.
Now I want to know what Tim thinks of Shaq's AEW appearance.
No, now I want to hear. Now I want to hear their opinion on fucking the Spawn movie from the 90s.
Oh, I liked that they got Melinda Clarke from Return of the Living Dead and Return of the Living Dead 3. She's one of the only people that showed up for the commentary, and she got wicked drunk and made fun of her forehead. And she was Julie Cooper on the OC, which I loved. One of the best aspects of nerd culture 2000. Remember when George Lucas was on the Prom episode?
What? You just completely lost me. I don't know what the fuck the OC is, except for like a wrestling faction. That is bad.
It was a super popular show from the early 2000s about a poor kid gets adopted by a Jewish lawyer from Orange County, from Newport, and has to like adjust to what it's like living in Richie Richville. You would think it's a lot more traditional than it ends up being. Season 2, though, ends up more focused on Seth Cohen, like his brother or whatever, Adam Brooke, trying to write a comic book with one of his friends and it all falling apart. And like it's just so good. And then season 3 happens, but we don't talk about that. And then season 4 happens, and they titled the first one The Avengers. So there you go. There's comics. Go watch it.
God, are we that fucking shallow? Are we really that bad here? Christ. I guess I'm gonna have to pick like an art house thing for AF next month, huh?
I mean, if you have to.
Nah, fuck that. We're doing Cyberverse.
Are they doing a reboot of Spawn? I heard that like kicking around for the past like decade.
That has been kicking around for the past like decade. The last update was Todd McFarlane said that he had touched up the script 2 years ago, or no, it was 2 years before the pandemic, and he was very excited about the fact that there were 250 scenes in it because Todd McFarlane has no ideas how movie works.
Does he mean pages?
No, he said there were over 200. It was something like 200 scenes.
Todd just feels like a very weird man.
Oh, he is.
I don't know that I would even be able to get 200 scenes out of Spawn, honestly.
Have I told you guys lately that I really wish Hasbro had the DC toy license instead of him?
Oh, I feel
I
you.
haven't said that lately.
Oh, okay, I'm getting better.
Actively working to curb that behavior.
I'm not gonna be a shill. I'm not just a fucking Hasbro simp. I swear to God, guys, I do buy things from other companies.
You've got the little little fucking shock bracelet.
Guys, the QC issues with Lightning Collection aren't that bad. Ah!
Oh my god, perfectly cut Vac scream.
It's only because my mic is so shit.
Vac just turns into moist critical.
It wouldn't be too bad, not gonna lie.
What's up, guys?
So the reason why I think Woman of Tomorrow is the best comic of the last 10 years is you gotta
Jesus Christ.
Belle Delphine isn't even that great, guys. I mean, she hasn't even cosplayed Supergirl once.
Is that true?
I don't know.
They're easy bait for her.
It probably is. I've never actually looked at Belle Delphine's content. I only know her through memes.
Some real bad shit a while ago.
Is this the bathwater or something else?
Oh no, she sent nude pics of streamers to somebody
Oh, nice.
instead of her own image sets and stuff like that. Yeah,
There's a layer of fucked there.
Yeah,
There's several.
There's I don't think that's what this podcast is about.
Yeah, no. I did just Google though Belle Delphine Supergirl, and nothing has come up.
Well, that's good. We've still got that.
A couple Supergirl cosplays did come up, but I know for a fact they aren't her because I've seen them before.
Sure.
I put some money down on the idea of Jessica Negri doing a Supergirl cosplay.
Yeah, that seems like it should have happened by now. Let's fucking Google that. Let's just fuck up all my algorithms. Oh, yeah, there it is. There's one of her as DCAU, and there's one of her as New 52. So she's at least got good taste.
There we go. What would you have done if the only one she did was Matrix Supergirl?
I'd have found any reason I could to legitimately hate her, as I have with many people who only like Matrix Supergirl.
I mean, you just find legitimate reasons to hate anybody.
I'm good at that. You and Tim and Buster, y'all do great jobs of just bringing reasons to dislike people to me. Like, I didn't know about that Belle Delphine shit till just now, and now I'm like, okay, Belle Delphine, bad person, got it.
Bad to the bone.
Matrix is the one that was like a big blob of goo. Like,
yeah, that's Cooper Girl.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
She also fucks like Luthor, didn't she?
Yeah, she did.
That's the defining trait of her to me.
She also became a literal angel because Peter David really wanted to work out his feelings about religion through fucking Supergirl.
I mean,
she also became Clark Kent.
Jesus.
When he died, and they needed a second Superman.
I hate Matrix Supergirl so much.
They were like, wait, how are we going to dig up Clark without everybody seeing that he's also Superman? And she was like, well, I'll be Clark, and I'm going to make out with your girlfriend, Clark.
Ay.
Death of Superman was crazy, because, like, he didn't even die.
Death of Superman is the greatest trick DC ever got away with. It ruined the comics industry forever, but man, did they get away with it.
Everybody owns a copy of the Black Arm Bandit.
Uh-huh. And they all think it's going to be worth $1 million someday.
One day. Over the rainbow.
When we're all fucking dust.
Yeah, once the idea of comics has been wiped from the earth, these things are going to be, primo.
Yeah, there's going to be like weird fucking mutated fish people that will inherit the earth after we destroy it, and they'll be like finding comic books and bombed out husks of comic book stores and going like, I'll trade you 60 cork necks for this.
The primary currencies, yeah.
Yeah, the cork necks. You gotta invest in those right now, kids, if you want to fucking have a future.
This one a trading card.
Invest in bit cork necks. Get them on the cork chain.
Fish coin.
I love. I have all my money in what's in Ripple caviar.
Oh, that's better than mine. Mine's in plastic.
Oh man, got to be careful for that. That you get that shit around your neck, it's gonna choke you and kill you.
The dream.
Legit. I don't think I've ever talked about this, but there was a point where I legitimately thought, like, yeah, one day when I die, I want to be buried in a coffin alongside my Transformers collection. This was a time. This was legitimately like I would. This was like 13, 14 times. So like primo shithead kid times. But still, that's a legit thing I thought. I think that's up there with I want to name one of my kids Kaito as like terrible ideas I've had. What are some terrible ideas you fellas have had?
Well, I'm a 3D.
Oh my
Fuck
god.
yeah. I want one so bad.
I saw Funbee Studios and a ton of like relevant first props. Like they made like a Teletran 1, a Decepticon, they're doing like a bunch for like
God.
the remade Armada figure. I'm just whatever plot I have left and stuff for.
Yeah, I love that fucking Shapeways exists for people who can't afford a printer, but also I want printers to become so commonplace that like eventually Hasbro just goes like, yeah, you could buy the toy manufactured in a factory from us, but also we'll sell you the STI file for like a quarter of the price.
Yeah, for sure. Like it's all just baby steps into the like Star Trek technology, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It all depends on like what kind of printer, which printer are you vibing with? Are you getting a plastic one, or are you getting a resin one?
Honestly, I'm not even sure. Like I'm gonna do a bunch of research this month, but like up until then, I'm working on shit.
And playing a vampire game.
Listen, I'm uninstalling it, okay?
It's like it's off my PC right now, I swear to God.
I did it. I uninstalled it
Hooray!
to let the vampires survive me.
Well, I guess we'll let you get back to it then. What a wonderful time this has been.
Throw them back into the vampires.
Get back to work, damn it!
Dracula's come out, Nosferatu, they all just drag me.
What is a man?
It's the podcast ends, Tim gets out of the call, and he just feels a hand go on his shoulder. You must be the Belmont.
No, god damn it.
But no, I think that is a good place to end it for tonight. So thank y'all for listening. And before you head out, if you haven't already, if you didn't come here for Tim, if you're one of our regular fuckers, Tim, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you out there on the internet?
I'm on youtube.com/Zaya Enterprise America if like my stop motion video content. I'm also on Twitter at Amatsu Janaito. If you want stupid memes and channel updates, feel free to follow me there for whatever reason.
Well, I don't want stupid memes. I want the best memes in the tokusatsu community because that's what you make, sir.
Oh, you want to go to Max for that?
I mean, Max is pretty good, but like, you make shit I wouldn't have even thought to do.
I appreciate that. That means a lot to me, actually.
Yeah, everybody go follow Matsuji Naito on Twitter. Boingo, where can people find you on the internet?
Fuck, I have hit a sleepy wall.
Oh!
Okay, hold on. Let's
Come on, game time, buddy. Come on.
Hey, howdy. I'm Boingo Rowdy. You can find me on a variety of places on the internet, including my Twitch streams, where Monday, Tuesday, Thursdays, and Fridays, if everything goes right, I usually stream a variety of different things, RPGs, goof games. I may just start editing videos on stream. People seem to like that. I also make a variety of videos on YouTube at Boingo Writer. I'm on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram at Boingo_Writer. Links to all these things are in the description. Yeah.
And I am the Vacuuminator. I also make videos about things. By the time this is out, I'll have a new video about a thing out. The current run of World's Finest is really fucking good, and I explain why and why you should be reading it. So go watch that on my YouTube channel at the Vacuuminator. Also follow me on Twitter at the Vacuuminator, on Instagram at _Vacuuminator, and on Tumblr, thevacuuminator.tumblr.com. And before you do all that, don't forget to help us out here at Modular Media. Give this podcast a like, comment down below with some thoughts you have on some stuff we discussed. Subscribe, ring that bell in order to enable notifications and get every podcast we do, including this show, including Analytical Fanboys, including This Week in Tokusatsu, including the No Prize Podcast, delivered right to your inbox as it comes out. And follow us on Twitter at the Modular Media, on Reddit r/Modular Media, and on Tumblr modularmedia.tumblr.com. I remember that one. I need to fucking get that one down. But hey, that's a components, everybody. That's been a podcast. Thanks for hanging out with us. We hope to see you back here again next